Oh, the toy mess had just gotten so out of control. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly. I'm a pediatric occupational therapist and toddler mom, as well as the hostess for the Toddler Play Conference, which is happening in April. You can grab your free ticket down below. It's 30 speakers over 5 days, all about play for this early childhood development. Today I am walking you through a kind of video that I've done on my experience of decluttering toys and setting up a new toy rotation. I run a play and child development membership community called Playful Pod. You can also find the link for that in the description box. And every month we do a reset. It's like a challenge, we have a prize, and we just together as a community move towards another step in really enabling play and child development in our homes. Sometimes that's on us, like we've done resets on our energy levels, we've done resets on our art areas, and this month we are doing a reset on our toys. Being spring, it just felt so right to do a good declutter and set up a new toy rotation. So what is a toy rotation? Well, the idea behind this is that our kids have a lot of toys, naturally. I think there's a statistic out there that says that children have on average, an American child has on average 150 toys. And as toddlers, like there is this phase that you go through that you have like the normal kind of baby mobiles and things like that. And then you slowly start getting new toys for your toddler. And then suddenly it's like you blink and your house has exploded with all kinds of toys. And, you know, this is really an interesting stage in children's development and their play specifically, because we're wanting to encourage that like deeply concentrated, immersive play and independent play. And there is still this kind of dance of being attached to a parent and then stepping into their independence. So the way that we structure our environment and our toys is super important. There have been studies done that show that children that have more toys out play less. So it's kind of backwards, right? We always think like more toys, more interesting, more engagement, but it's actually the opposite. The less toys that you can have out, the more deeply your child can engage with those toys. And I like to think of this as like going to your favorite clothing store, but it's on sale, and everything is in those like Turner like racks where it's all like jumbled up and you can't find your size, as opposed to going into that same store when it's not on sale and everything is like neatly hung out. Maybe there's a nice smell in the air and it's really inviting. You want to go and feel the fabrics and you want to try things on, whereas if there's a lot of people and a lot of clothes like in those, you know, bunched up racks, you don't really want to try them on. You just want to like grab the cheap thing and run out of the store, right? And that's kind of how it is for play for our children. We want our environment to really invite them into play so that they can do that like deeply engaging, immersive play. So the idea behind toy rotation is that you can have lots of toys for your toddler, and it's normal that we do have quite a variety of toys because they do move through different phases of interest, different play schemas, and different stages of development. But you don't have to have all of those things out at one time. So the idea with toy rotation is to put some things out in a way that is, you know, less cluttered and more inviting, and keep some things away and then kind of just switch them out as you go. Some people like to do toy rotations that are very planned. So they have like packets or boxes where they've put what they want to be including in the toy rotation, those toys in that box, and they have it lined up for a number of weeks. And they have like a day in the week that they rotate out toys. I have done it like that in the past when my children were younger, but at the moment, I don't feel like that's exactly something that really serves our family. So what we do is I kind of set out toys for a week, and it might extend. Like you'll see in the video, the toys section that I set out for last week, I'm definitely going to keep that out for another week or two because they're really, really deeply engaged with it, and I feel like there's a lot more play potential there. And then what I normally do is just switch out a couple of things. Like there are things that will always stay on our shelves or in our toy area, and there are things that, you know, once they're not really paying attention or interested in that, we just take them out. Okay, so I'm going to show you my video. I did this last week of me kind of going through toys, and you're going to see normal house mess. We've actually recently moved and a lot of our toys kind of haven't found a home, so I felt like there were like little loose parts and bits and bobs like floating everywhere. So I just brought this is not all of our toys, but I just brought all the bits and bobs that were floating into one space and decided on 3 kind of piles. The first pile was the things that I am going to be giving away or donating. The second pile is the things that I want to put into storage, like the things that they do have a lot of play potential for my children's development, and they're toys that we love, but right now our kids aren't really deeply engaging in them. And then the third pile is the things that I want to have out for this week or next week.
So I am probably about a quarter of the way through packing everything up here. As you can see, there's some like organization in terms of piles, what things are whole and have a home and what things just need to find a home. But this is really like the point of big mess. So I'm going to keep pushing through and I'll update you as we go. Okay, we are about an hour in and I'm kind of at that point where I want to throw in the towel and just give up. But I'm not going to. I'm going to push through. And I'll keep updating you as we go. Thank goodness the kids haven't arrived home yet. And I'm sure when they do, this will all be remessed again. But as you can see, I'm kind of going through and organizing some things, setting up some things so I have them ready to put on shelves. Well, yeah. Point of no return, that is for sure. And I'm also at that point where you start finding like all this weird stuff, like what is this exactly? Like some contraption that my kiddo has made and thinks is super fun.
Well, I actually did eventually comb through all of that mess. It took me around 3 or 4 hours, and the kids did come home and then like play with everything, so it got even more messy. But now I'm just going to walk you through how I actually set up our toy space for this week. And I just want to give you a little bit of a background that IKEA box set of shelves, it normally has 9 shelves, and we've been like trying out putting all of the shelves in with like really nice engaging things inside each of the tabs, and I just felt like it wasn't getting much use. Like it just made more clutter because there were so many little pieces around, and that my kids weren't really like deeply engaging with each of those things. So I've decided to pull a lot out and really just put a few things on the shelf and even nothing on top. Okay, so here you can see this is our shelf. So I've taken out those 9 buckets and there's just a couple there. We have our magnet tiles and that like marble run that goes with them, as well as some play scarves and string and pegs that they can use. These are all really open-ended toys, and actually we've gotten a lot of play that involves using the marble run to put the scarves down, and then it like changes color. So these are like really dynamic toys, and there is tons that they can do as individual toys and also as like combined play. And now this is like our art area where I just had set out 2 puzzles. Those were actually made for that open bucket in the shelves, but they were definitely the first things that my kids ran to. This is like one for my older 4-year-old and for my 2-year-old. And then you can see over here our kind of art area. We've just got some simple things set up. I do leave scissors out for my kids because they both are pretty comfortable with scissors. We use them a lot. But this is the kind of thing that you need to decide for your own family, what you feel comfortable to set out and what not. Okay, now I'm just showing you the box. Like I said before, for our family, I don't feel like a very structured toy rotation really works or serves us very well. So what I've done is just set out a box of things that I'm going to be rotating in and while I take other things out. So I've got here like a vase with a play scarf in the bottom and some fish and tongs that they can play with. I have this weather bear. My little guy is going through like an enclosing play schema, so we have those eggs, which can be lots of fun for him. He's also really interested in numbers. My little girl is really interested in colors at the moment, so these are just like some dyed pasta that I'll set out in some way. And that's kind of it. So I leave this box, I'll take this box, and as I see fit, I'll kind of pull things out of what we currently have as our toy rotation and put some of this stuff in. Now, being a week post having set this all out, I can say that it was really a good week of solid play for both of my kids, and I love to see how open-ended toys really invite different stages of development into different types of creative expression within their play. It's just so fascinating to watch. But what I wanted you to really take away from this video is firstly that less is more. So the less toys we can set out, the better. Of course, we want our children to play and have toys. It's a good thing to have toys, but we want to not overwhelm them with the amount of toys that we set up. The next thing is that it's okay to have toys and not have them out. So just because you have a toy, it doesn't mean that it has to be out on the shelves every single day. It's okay to have things in storage and pull them out as necessary. And the last kind of tip is just to keep things, when you're setting up your shelf, keep them accessible. So everything that you're wanting your children to play with, make sure that you feel safe that they can engage with that, and that you leave it out in a way that they can easily reach and that they can easily engage in creativity. You know, like I said before, our marble run and the place scarves don't necessarily look like they go together. They've gone together in such exciting ways for play, which we really want to encourage. So the more accessibility we can have, the better. If you'd like to learn more about toy rotation, what kind of toys really serve our children's development, as well as setting up an inviting shelf from a Montessori perspective, please join us for the Toddler Play Conference. It's happening on the 22nd of April, and like I said, you can grab your free ticket down below in the description box. So that's it from me for today. Please like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps us spread this play message over to more families. I'll see you next week.